Let me tell y'all a story about a crew that started out on three-wheel motorcycles and became one of the largest groups to be moving weight from state to state. Y'all want to know the name? The RYKER Gang, RYKER Gang, the RYKER Gang, RYKER Gang, the RYKER Gang, 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 the RYKER Gang, RYKER Gang, the RYKER Gang, 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 gang. C8 Pate Films presents RYKER Gang. This is a series that is brought to you from C8 Pate Films, and the series is about love, pushing weight from state to state, violence, riding bikes, having fun, enjoying life, partying, shopping. If you like any of that, you've come to the right place. Hit that subscribe button for me right now before we get started with this video. Hit that subscribe button if you want to be notified of upcoming episodes in this series, RYKER Gang. Let's throw this disclaimer out there. The stories and characters mentioned in this video are fictional. This is for the cops and all you other crazy people that are out there that are going to take this whole series serious. This is for entertainment purposes. Let's get going with the episode. Meet me. My name's Byron, aka also known as C8 Pate. Just a simple guy. I live in Chicago. I'm so humble. I'm blessed. I'm thankful for everything that I have in life. My life is simple, or I should say it was, until I got involved and I created something that I never knew was going to blow up into what it blew up into. So let me tell y'all the story, man. This all started a few years back. I started riding these bikes that you see back here in the back right there. I went to a dealership and I was looking for something new to do, something else to ride. And I started riding these bikes, right? So the first bike that I purchased was a Can-Am Riker. And I didn't even know I liked motorcycles. I didn't even know I liked to ride. That's what all this started from. It started from a Riker, and then it went to a Spider. Then it just turned into something else. It turned into hustling. There go, another one of the bikes. In the beginning, I used to just ride by myself. I hated it. Just constantly ride by myself because nobody knew what the bikes were. Nobody really had them. And, in Chicago, I was one of the first to have it. And I was looking for other people like me that wanted to. It's fun to ride by myself, but at some point you want to ride with other people, right? So finally, I started seeing some people the next season, like a year later, with the bikes. So, at this point, I'm adding more bikes over the years, right? So now I'm really into the bikes or whatever. Just fun, a freeing experience, that wind therapy like no other. Y'all know, the people that got this bike, y'all know what I'm talking about. Finally, the next season, I see this lady and a few people. We all start riding together. Meet First Lady, also known as Boss Lady. She pretty dope. She cool. I met her on the south side of Chicago. So I'm just riding down the street one day. Hey, I pop out. I see this person. I'm like, man, what's going on? I see her with like one other person. We just start riding after that. So we ride. Meet my boy O. He came into the mix at some point early on, and we started riding with him. Now, the whole time, I don't know what was with this guy. He always thought that I was, a federal agent or something. So this guy never trusted me from the beginning. This guy hated me for some reason, it felt like, but he just never, ever trusted me. So I gave him the same energy back. Let me say it again. O is a person I'm going to have to kill at some point, though. Meet my girl, Slim. Slim was somebody we started riding with on our side of town, just having fun, hanging out. Slim, dope, man. She a cutie. She dope, right? One of my besties. Good friend. She was riding with us. She had a nice bike. We were having a blast. We were having fun. On the other side of town, right, the far south side of town, it was this cat, my man Scat. He started an overall group for us or whatever where we can all connect together with these bikes and then start coordinating our ride outs and so on and so forth. Dope individual, great at planning, real good at logistics. So we created the CRR. This is from the beginning. A lot of the people that you guys see in this first episodes, these are going to be those day ones. Shout out to my girl Ruthie. Another day one. So my man Scat, as he's putting all this together, he links with Shawanda and the rest of us. And again, Scat was riding with this guy, Dancing D. Now this dude's an absolute fool. He's always dancing. We'll come back to him later on in the episode. This is a unique individual right here. But just remember, I told you about this guy, Dancing D. So then we created CRR, right? So Scat, he the president. The first lady, she the, vice president. And we're just off and going. So that just kind of lays the groundwork for you guys of how the whole thing got started with the three-wheeled motorcycles, the Spiders, the Rykers, the team, how we all linked up. And then it just turned into something else, man. I came across something and I just started going with it, right? So let me give y'all what it turned into in this first episode. Let me give you guys a little bit more context on what I'm talking about. All right, y'all. Here's when things in my life take a turn. I meet this girl that y'all see on the screen, the baby girl. I see in a restaurant in downtown Chicago. She's with a big time drug dealer named Maurice. Maurice and her are having a good time. I'm having a good time at another table with my crew, but I'm peeping her out. We start to leave the restaurant at the same time. Their car, we're in the valet. Their car comes before my car does. Then my car comes like right after theirs. This cat Maurice, man, he was just so high and drunk. He didn't even open her car door, right? Then he went and he got on his side of the car and he rolled down the window and he said, "Get in, B," right? So he called her out her name. He told her to get in the car. She stands there for a minute. Then she goes ahead and she gets in. She's pissed off. This girl is a complete hothead. My car is right behind theirs. We're driving down the street. Hey, she pulls out her thing and she unloads on him right there in the car. The car crashes into another car. I pull over. I stop to go check on her and see if everything's good. She's like, "Yeah, I'm good." She's already getting out of the car. She's like, "Let's take off. Let's get out of here," or whatever. I'm like, "What the heck? Why'd you just do that or whatever?" She's like, "I don't let no dude, no nigga can disrespect me." I'm like, "Oh my God." I don't know why, y'all. I like these toxic women. Right there on the spot, I fell in love. We just started rocking. She had the hideout for me. Maurice was a big time weight dealer, right? And he was involved with the Mexican cartel. So she knew they were going to come looking for her. So she just stayed with me for a while. What she didn't understand and know is Maurice had been stealing from the Mexican cartel. So they were already pissed off at him and they already wanted him gone and they were already setting something up. So she actually did them a favor. So by the time they caught up to her, they were actually thanking her for what she did. So with that being said, they needed a replacement person in Chicago to take care of their business operations. She started trying to talk to me about it and saying I wouldn't have to touch anything, just be like the money person or whatever. Obviously, I was a bit apprehensive, but eventually, you know how women are. They put that thing on you, right? You go with the flow on some things. She sets up a meeting. I go down and meet with these cats. We come to an agreement. Next thing you know, I'm their distribution person in Chicago. That's how I got started in the game, y'all. Just the future episodes are gonna lay it out a little bit more, but that's just a basic summary of what happened. So let me go on with the story and how the rest of the three-wheel motorcycles and stuff tie in with this. So after that, I'm trying to figure out, now that I'm the distribution person, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to distribute this? And I had a bunch of people on my team or whatever, but I don't know. They weren't the smartest cats. They weren't the most trustworthy cats. The baby girl, she still had all the contacts from Maurice's operation. So I met with the cats that he had in Chicago locally, and none of them were trustworthy. Most of them were on drugs themselves, to be honest. Well, that's what I could, you know, see from hanging out with them or getting to know them or whatever. So I said, no, these cats are not reliable. I'm not going to mess with them. So what, the weight we were going to be doing, we were going to be pushing some H, powder. We even had pills. So, I needed to get this correct. And the cartel had only gave me 30 days to try to get my operation set in Chicago. So at least they gave me a little bit of time, but I didn't have the infrastructure set correctly. So I went with my new team, right? My squad, my new family that I had built with this 3-wheel community or whatever, just trying to figure out that they had connections, who they were, who was scared, who wasn't scared, who wanted to make money. Most of all of them wanted to make money. All the girls, especially. The girls were in and down 100% when I brought some things to them. I mean, these some of the hardest girls. They ride their bikes hard. They hard in these streets. These girls want to make money. The dudes were the scary ones in the crew. The dudes were terrified of anything that I was damn near talking about. Not all of them, but some of them. Eventually, they came around and we started coming up with a plan about how we were going to take care of this. Now, what I didn't understand and know was there was a motorcycle vendor that the cartel laundered money through. So one of the cartel members, one of the main ones, was in partnership with a motorcycle vendor on the U.S. side called The Show. That was the name of their company, was The Show. And it was a legit business. They made motorcycle parts, and the cartel laundered money through them overall. Very sophisticated operation. So I thought that through, and what was crazy from this company, some of our parts that we needed for our 3-wheel motorcycles came through this actual motorcycle vendor. So I came up with an idea, and I told the cartel, hey, why don't we ship some of the product? So why don't you ship it through them? Because what I didn't understand is a lot of the products were made in Mexico. I didn't understand that. It was a factory in Mexico that made a lot of the motorcycle products. So with that being said, it was easy to ship things that way, and it wasn't any issues overall. So that was a great idea. The cartel liked it. I built that part of the infrastructure. Now in Chicago, we were going to use the bikes. We were just going to whip around the city and, take packs to different blocks or whatever to the lower level people. And they were going to distribute, everything. Just as baby girl said, I didn't have to touch anything. I was just kind of the brains behind the operation. I had a second in command. I had a third in command. I had a little bit of everything. So I was just so isolated from the business overall. I was calling the shots, but I wasn't touching anything. There was no way for me to be, touched overall in the situation. So this thing just took off. We just started pushing all types of weight from block to block, town to town, through the whole city. We were making just money hand over fist. And we started packing these 3-wheel bikes and breaking them down and packing them, taking stuff over on the Indiana side, going to, different local, type states and towns. We literally shipped the product through the bikes. The bikes were still kind of new to the police. So the police never pulled us over. They never asked questions. They definitely weren't going to search your bike or anything like that. So it was just so easy. We were just hiding in plain sight. We were just literally going undetected from the police and just hiding in plain sight and just moving how we were moving, and everything was running smooth. At one point, we got this operation damn near overnight. We got the operation up to over 100K per week. Some weeks it was like 150K. Some weeks it was 160. Some weeks if we had a bad week, it was 120. So again, I'm sorry, per day. That wasn't per week. That was per day. We were moving that over 100K per day. It damn near happened overnight. It was crazy, the type of business that we were bringing in. The different crews, around Chicago and different things that we set up. My crew, they got 50%. I got the other, and they had to pay their team, the lower level people and so on and so forth. I got the other 50%, and I had to pay the plug, I had to pay the shipper, and the rest went in my pocket. So I was making money hand over fist. I was enjoying life, shopping, taking trips. Everything was just going beautiful. Things were going so well that some of the people in the crew, they started opening up restaurants, banquet halls, towing business, repair garages, and I opened up a medical supply business. We had to go legit at some point. We had to clean this money, right? We couldn't try to clean it all through the vendor. We had to clean it a different way. So everything was just going smooth, man. So that's what these episodes are going to be about. I'm going to be telling you guys what we were doing, how we were doing it, and just kind of breaking it down. If you guys like that, get in the comment section and let me know if this is something that you guys want to see, if this is a series that you want to see. And I'll go full blast with it. I already have the first 8 episodes already done. I just need to know if I need to release them. If this didn't keep you interested and you didn't like it, then just get in the comment section and let me know. Let me know. Do you guys want to know about the RYKER Gang? That eventually became our name, the RYKER Gang. Right? This thing got big. It didn't just stay in Chicago, y'all. We ended up venturing out to other cities. So before we get off this episode, let me introduce y'all to the rest of the crew. The rest of the RYKER Gang from Chicago that originated and how it started. I'm not going to introduce you to the whole crew, but I'll introduce you to a lot of the main players. So let's get started with that. First up is me, C.A. Pate, a.k.a. B. Pate, a.k.a. Hefe, leader of the RYKER Gang. Y'all already know, man. King B, that's another alias that I have. But y'all already know, man, who running the show, who running the RYKER Gang. My second in command, my boy Los, a.k.a. Darkness. Man, this dude was a real killer, man. Like, this was the second in command, but he handled the bodies, if you know what I mean. He took care of business for me. My man Los, close to this day, we still riding and sliding real hard with it. Shout out to my boy Los for helping me handle this business. Next up, my man Scat, head of the CRR. So that's just 3-wheel motorcycles, gang, right? But Scat, he's just like me. He a captain, he a boss. He don't touch nothing either or whatever. All his dirty work is done by O and my man Jay. They do all his dirty work. Now, don't forget, I told y'all, some point during these episodes, man, I have to figure out a way to kill this dude O because he don't trust me and I don't trust him, and it's just making a bunch of waves, but I got to do it in some type of way without, making it seem like it came directly from me. The orders came directly from me because if it's me, I'm just going to start a war between my whole crew if I do that. But somehow, some way, I got to do something with this guy, O. Then it's the boss lady, a.k.a. First Lady. She got her own crew, right? So she don't really touch anything either at all. The people that handle her business affairs, if you want to call it that, is my girl Red. But hey, that dude T Murder, his name is T Murder for a reason. That is not the man you want to play with. Not the guy you want to play with. T Murder was a straight hitter. Now Red, a.k.a. Killshot, she didn't play games either or whatever, right? So T Murder was Red was the person that, you sent to go talk to somebody if they owed you some money or whatever. And 9 times out of 10, she was probably going to get the money. She was going to ruffle some feathers. She was going to do what she needed to do. But if all else failed, we sent T Murder. First Lady sent T Murder, and T Murder was going to collect them funds by any means necessary. Then we got Slim. Slim, we'll come back to in a later episode. She ran part of the business as well, but we'll come back to her in a later episode. As I said earlier in this episode, she a cutie, right? But don't play with her. Hey, that little cute face, she a hitter, man. She a killer. Like, seriously, don't play with this one. We got my girl Blue. Hey, this is another one that's running, some business and doing things and trying to figure out how to wash this money and turn it into legitimate businesses. So we're going to talk about Blue in episode 2 or 3 coming up. Then we got Eris. You know what? I'm going to say this one right here, right? Because y'all not going to believe, like, she the serious business, right? That silent killer right here. So I'll explain that in further episodes, but I just wanted to introduce y'all to some of the people in the crew. This right here, Anton, AKA, we call him the mechanic. He is the one that breaks the bikes down and he packs it with the weight and so on and so forth that we ship around the city, that we ship out of town. He is the mechanic. He runs the spot. Things are shipped to him and then he helps distribute it. Yep, that's that mechanic. My man Ricky, that's the assistant mechanic. He basically assists Anton, the main mechanic, in helping us ship things out to where they need to go, so on and so forth. If you want to call them shipping and receiving, you can call them shipping and receiving. But they were a very important part of our operations. Anton was a very important part of the operation. Then we got, remember the guy I was telling y'all about earlier, Dancing D? This cat right here, he was one of the local people that had kind of like a small towing business where he, would pick things up from Anton and he would take them to different parts of town or whatever. If it was a big shipment that needed to be taken, he would oversee it. Nobody messed with this dude. He was also an assassin. So this dude, you sent him when you really wanted something major taken care of. Now, the only thing that was always weird about this guy to me is, let's say, I remember once I heard a story where he broke in somebody's house to go take care of some business. But before he broke in, he took all his clothes off. He broke in butt naked. I've heard that story so many times or whatever. And the whole time he's just trying to take care of some business. He's dancing, this and that. A lot going on with this guy, man. He got a dark side. So right there, he seemed all cool, seemed like a normal person, right? But this is him as well. This is literally him. When he going to go take care of business, this man either has clothes on, or if he does have, clothes off, or if he does have his clothes on, he has some type of mask or something like this or whatever. We can't understand him. This man is a deranged individual, but he's loyal. But he's going to take care of that business. He's one of the most dangerous people in our crew. He's one of the most dangerous hitters in the crew. So this is not somebody that you play with. This cat right here, Picture Man, he is a shipper from out of town. So he's one that started up like the tow business, and he kind of ships things out of town and helps us with those type of operations overall. At some point, I used to think this dude was the feds because he took so many pictures. And I'm not a real big person that takes pictures, and this dude did nothing but take pictures. But, loyal to the team, and, he get the job done. We need, whatever we need taken out of town or brought in town, and he gonna do what he got to do. Yep, I got Picture Man. Picture Man. Watch out for Picture Man. In future episodes, Picture Man is a very important person on our team as well. Now, this dude right here, he wasn't one of the originals, but I want to throw him in the first episode because this is Juju, AKA Inside Man. He came just to the bike crew overall, and we didn't know a lot about him. This dude ended up being an agent, but he had no idea. Right. He's like something with one of the agencies. I'm not going to say which one, but he had no idea what we were doing. He just liked the bikes and he bought one. So I later come to find out that this man worked for one of the federal agencies or government agencies or whatever, law enforcement, and he could take our whole thing down. So we're going to talk about him in some future episodes. Yeah, man. See him dancing. He's a little freaky too, man. After a while, I started calling him the Freaky Fed. So then you got the plug. That's the El Miro cartel. The El Miro cartel, straight out of Mexico. This is one of my main plugs. This is one of the actual people. And man, they are ruthless. But we making money. As long as you're making money, that's all they about. The show, obviously, that's the motorcycle vendor that that they were laundering money through, and that we were, purchasing and getting products from, the actual products for the street, the weight. We were doing everything through them. So it would come through Mexico and it would go to them, and then it would be shipments and different things coming to us, whether we sent people up or some things came through the mail. It was a lot going on. So before we end, let me talk to you guys about, future episodes and other things that are going to be coming up in future episodes. So here we go. At some point, we needed to expand our operations to other states. If we were making, anywhere between 100,000 and 160,000 a day in Chicago, just think what we could do if we could have expanded to, Atlanta, Philly, Baltimore, Vegas, Indy, Houston, Dallas, Detroit, even Cali. That's what we needed to do. That's what the next mission was. So in the next upcoming episodes, I'm going to be talking about my girl Sasha, right? I'm going to be talking about these cats. I'm going to be talking about my boy Lando. I'm going to be talking about my boy The Hammer. And I'm going to be talking about my boy Irv. All these cats from different states. I'm going to be talking about DJ Gold. Talking about people from other states. Talking about the 305. This didn't stay at Chicago. We expanded. We went to other states. Growth is important. Is it the more people that you bring in, the more issues you have, the more people that are either going to want their own thing or somebody going to get caught. Luckily, when operations were here in Chicago, we never got caught doing anything. So I'm going to talk to y'all in future episodes. Please get in the comment section and let me know what you think I could do different. If you like the episode, please let me know that you like the episode. It's a lot of hard work and energy that goes into this stuff, trying to, write it all out, come up with scripts, so on and so forth. If you think this is interesting and intriguing, let me know. If you think it's trash, just send a simple message that says that it's trash. But most importantly, hit that subscribe button. Until next time, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. RYKER Gang, it's coming, y'all. I'm trying to blow this thing up. I'm trying to do a bunch of seasons. I'm trying to blow it up. I'm trying to bring other states and involve other states into this. Who knows what this could take off into? But RYKER Gang, that's what it's about, y'all.